Hey, this and this is my video response to Gareth Hall's "Is Flash Good or Bad?" And secondly, now I'm going to say that Gareth Hall, first of all, had some very good points, and I'm well aware that he had a second video, follow-up video, and he had good points in there too. So this is not an ownership video or anything like that, because I actually agree with most of what Gareth Hall said about Flash. And now, I'm going to only say this, that you did cover Java, except maybe for a few areas, but nothing really big. I honestly think that, in my honest opinion anyways, that Java is more powerful than Flash and Silverlight put together. That, you know, it is a really powerful program, and you can even make animations, and there are incredible sites that are Java based that just have really good animations and functionalities to it, just like you wouldn't believe. But that's all I really wanted to say about that. Anyways, on with Flash. With Flash, you kind of got to understand. Well, Flash did come from Macromedia, and right now it's owned by Adobe, but you have to understand the weird history between Apple and Adobe, and it is kind of bizarre when it goes to like Type 1 or Live Type, and you know, Apple and Adobe having this weird friendship slash competitive ship with each other. And of course, Adobe starting out as Mac app operations, and I'm not surprised they don't have Flash or Silverlight or Java on the iPhone or iPod Touch. They don't have any of those three functionalities, and people have complained about that. But Silverlight, Flash is really become a really good program. And of course, being YouTube, you know that YouTube itself is Flash oriented as well. It's actually a hybrid of both Flash and Java, which is nice. But Adobe's, as well as, you know, my little fight that I had with another YouTuber, I believe his name was Adobe PC, in which he overreacted on a few things. But anyways, Adobe said in a video to me that technically Apple bought the same program of Final Cut Pro, the same program of Adobe Flash, and renamed it Final Cut Pro, which is technically true, and I've known that for years. I don't know why he brought that up, but anyways, Adobe, I said in a previous video before that Apple and Adobe had their hands dipped into each other, which is pretty true. They do, because Adobe has always put their hands into Apple, and Apple put their hands into Adobe. And what I mean is, all you had to do is look at the Mac OS X operating system and realize that, you know, Adobe helped with the certain functionalities on Mac OS X, mainly this save the PDF and PDF saving tool that they have on here. But for some bizarre reason, Adobe didn't want to go Carbon base, even though they were helping in the development of Mac OS X, which was weird. But to add into the weirdness, they didn't want to go into the Cocoa base operating system until, you know, the upcoming CS5, which I think you probably just heard. You know, all you have to do is just do a search on CS5, and you'll create the new upcoming Creative Studios. It will be 64-bit compatible and will be written in Cocoa development tools and all that other fine stuff. And what I find that a little bit more weirder is that they finally came up with a Carbon base, like after iPhoto came out, and Graphics Converter, which I know is a crappy program, but was catching up with Photoshop. And I guess, you know, somewhere along the lines, they magically popped out the Carbon version of Photoshop. And now, with Pixelate pixelator catching up with Photoshop somewhat, but it's a little bit more than that because the deal between Microsoft and Adobe is really on shaky grounds right now. A couple of incidences that have occurred. One of which is that Silverlight is now manually installed. Is now, I think, defaultly installed in all Windows operating systems, and that is very true because it downloaded on my Windows machine. And then there was that whole the inauguration of President Obama, even though I know that had nothing to do with it, but CNN was basically running this big multi-picture thing of Bob with Silverlight programming, and they pretty much advertised Silverlight and Microsoft pretty huge during that whole event. I guess Adobe didn't really take that to kind-heartedness because and what else has happened is that as you may know, Flip for Mac came out, or one of the newer versions. And what found that interesting was that, as if you can tell, Silverlight is defaultively installed with Flip for Mac, which means that they're trying to make it a standard for the Macs as well. So, Microsoft is really trying their hardest to make sure that Silverlight is defaultively installed on both on their own operating system as well as the Mac operating system, completely erasing Flash and taking whatever high-end event they can to advertise Silverlight over and over again is basically what I'm trying to say. And after that, shortly after that, all those announcements came out, and Adobe ends up coming up with the announcement that that they have a Cocoa version that just popped out of midair, and that they're going to release it in their next release. Gee, I wonder what made them do that at that time, right after Microsoft just came with all those surprises. Seriously. But anyways, I was also looking at this Flash versus Silverlight. And go all the way down. Yeah, I also like how Windows application that Flash beats Silverlight. But yeah, good old Microsoft can't even come up with an application that can work properly on their own operating system. But oh well. But I guess that's all I really wanted to say, and thanks for listening to my internal babbling.